well. I'm playing in the fourth game of the preseason. Oh, this has gone badly. Ooh.
Oh, I'm just gonna. I haven't been playing in this, so I'm just gonna.
I'm not really. I'm just simming.
Oh.
How's it going?
Did you just? Oh wait, are you? What are you playing on?
Huh?
Are you playing on a different league?
No.
You're ready to advance this week already. What?
Yes, I pressed ready to advance in case you weren't ready.
On week
in case.
what? It says you're ready to advance on week 1.
Oh, I am not. But
Um.
I'm going to sim to the end of this anyway. Tors, how's it sounding? Still not there.
It says you're ready to advance on week 1. No, I am not. This says week 6 review. It's week 7 review. Oh wait, don't worry. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, was it all good? Tors, how's it sounding? Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're both there.
Yay! Okay. Well then, welcome to Flag on the Play with Nathan and Sam.
Woo!
We're here to talk about so many comebacks on week 7.
Yeah.
So many comebacks and non-comebacks and just what
It was one of the best weeks of football in a long time, actually.
It was genuine. It felt like a different week for me because as a Jaguars fan, we always play at 6 o'clock British time. So to watch them at 9 instead was whoa.
Packers are usually playing Sunday night, so either kind of like late Sunday.
Yeah.
Or we occasionally play Monday nights. We don't usually play Thursdays, but yeah.
Yeah. It had a different feel this week, and we were treated to so many good games,
Yes, it was crazy.
Where do we start? I don't even know where.
Should we start Thursday night? Poor Daniel Jones.
I made a load of notes about this game because I think this week there were just what made this week so good was so many games were really well matched.
Yes.
So the Giants-Eagles were two teams with turnover-prone quarterbacks, with really with struggling O-lines, and that was a massive part of the battle this week. And that was one of the things I picked up on. I made a load of notes on this game, and one of the things I noticed that both teams were scheming up more quick release throws. And it was really simple. It seems really obvious to say, and I sound stupid. It sounds stupid saying it. It's really obvious. Basically, whenever they threw it quickly, they didn't get sacked. Whenever they waited, they got sacked. Yeah. It was as simple as that. If you think about the better teams and better quarterbacks, I'm thinking Mahomes and Jackson. If the play isn't there and it breaks down, they've got the O-line and their own athletic ability to extend the play.
Yeah.
And sure, Wentz did a lot of that, but because his O-line is so much worse, and for Daniel Jones as well at the Giants, they just got sacked instantly. It was basically you throw it within 2-3 seconds, or you get sacked. It was that simple.
That's a big thing, that you have to throw it within 2 or 3 seconds most of the time anyways.
Yeah.
That's kind of the average time. It's 2.5 to 3 seconds, or maybe it is something like that is just the average time to throw. Yeah. And if you're hurried past that, that's the sign of a good defense. If you can hurry the quarterback to less than 2.5 seconds before he has to throw it, then he's not going to be as effective.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I just think it really was that simple, that game. I'm trying to get my words out now. With the Eagles-Giants game, like you're saying, yes, that's usually the amount of time you want to throw it. But in that game, it was... And like I said earlier, with other teams, you potentially have the luxury of a little bit more time. With this game, neither quarterback had the luxury of throwing outside of those 2 or 3 seconds.
Here's an interesting fact. Who is the quickest player at throwing? I've just looked this up.
Interesting. Okay.
Who has the shortest time to throw in the league?
So, I'm going to assume it's a quarterback who's very good.
So...
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
I can't wait to talk to you about the Patriots game, Matt. It's good.
That's going to be fun.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Sorry, yeah. Was I right about them being a good quarterback?
I would say recently not elite, but still kind of there.
Okay, I'm going to say it's the Colts then. It's Philip Rivers.
No.
Ah.
Big Ben.
Big Ben. Yeah, no, yeah, makes sense. Oh, that was an awful throw. Nope, I'm good. It's all good.
And you know who's next?
Aaron Rodgers.
Dwayne Haskins, Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Whoa.
Nick Foles, Philip Rivers.
Whoa, okay. I was not expecting that. What? Go back through that list.
This is crazy. Big Ben, 2.29 seconds to throw.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins, 2.39.
Gosh.
Fitzpatrick, 2.41. Nick Foles, 2.5. Philip Rivers, 2.52. Jimmy G, 2.59.
Yeah.
And then it goes 2.6 up to longest. Who takes the longest to throw?
Mahomes?
He's close, but he's not.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
3.12. Then Josh Allen and Drew Lock, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, all of
Russell Wilson,
three or above.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I think stuff like Dwayne Haskins, Philip Rivers, or like Dwayne Haskins, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Nick Foles, not the best O-line.
Yeah.
So they have to get it away quick. Ben Roethlisberger, that's scheming.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say...
Probably one of a second quicker than anyone else.
Yeah. I wonder whether that represents good coaching, though, as well. I was just thinking about the Fitzpatrick and the Haskins ones, and thinking about watching the Eagles game. I just missed a field goal. Yeah, Matt, we won't talk about the Patriots too much. And the Cardinals game, I didn't actually watch, but Sam will definitely talk you through that one.
It was an amazing game. It was an absolutely amazing
as soon
game.
as
One of the best games I've watched.
Yeah, I didn't stay up for that one.
I
should have done. I'm regretting not doing it.
It was absolutely amazing. But yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
If you want.
Sorry, yeah. When you first read the list and Haskins and Fitzpatrick came up, my immediate thought was that's good scheming. I get that they have less time to throw it anyway, but that said to me, I wonder if the coaches know that their O-lines aren't top, and they know that their quarterbacks aren't elite, and whether they've whether they've taken that on note and gone, okay, we need to call plays that the ball's going to get out quickly.
Yeah, it's what Mike Tomlinson did. Mike Tomlin?
Yes.
Mike Tomlin's did. It's not Tomlinson, it's just Tomlins.
Just Tomlin, I think.
Tomlin, I don't know. It's what he did with Mason Rudolph last year.
Yes, yeah.
And kept the Steelers not dangerous, but kept them in contention.
Yeah.
He absolutely is one of the best coaches in the NFL
right
now.
He is, yeah.
And you see Ron Rivera in Washington.
Yeah,
good news for him as well. He finished his cancer treatment.
Oh, just again, it's so inspirational. Yeah. It's just like to do what he's done at Washington with everything he's going through is just and like I don't think I watched it all the way through, but All or Nothing featuring the Panthers.
I didn't watch that. Actually.
I've seen clips of just the way he acts and talks to his players, and he's just such a great guy. I'm so happy for him.
But yes, you were talking about the Giants and Eagles. Sorry, we kind of got off track there for a second.
I was just going to say on the reverse of that, I'm thinking about good scheming and getting the ball out of people's hands quickly. I think the Jaguars potentially need to do a bit... I look at the reverse of that, and I think teams that could do with that aren't doing that and are losing as a result are teams like the Giants and the Eagles, and I would add the Jaguars into that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about the other the other teams who are kind of low on wins. Who am I thinking? Jets. Yeah, I would put Jets under there as well. And I can't think of anywhere else, but yeah, that would.
Yeah.
I wonder whether that constitutes to losses as much as it constitutes to. Well, sorry, the full sentence I was going to say is coaching in quick releases with lower caliber quarterbacks and O-lines. Whether that coaching negates some of that, takes away more of that margin for error, and is creating more wins for those teams, and the bad coaching of not putting that in is contributing to more losses.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about with the scheming as well, how many sacks you're allowing your quarterback to take.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who are the top 6 in sacks allowed? This is fairly easy.
I was going to say Jaguars are probably 1.
They're 5th.
Yeah.
23 sacks allowed.
Yeah. Sacks allowed. Jets?
Yep, they're 4th. 24.
Washington?
Yep, they're 3rd. 26.
Let's see if I can go 6 for 6 here. Sacks allowed. Giants?
Ooh, they are down in 8th.
Oh, so close.
With 20.
Okay, Eagles?
There you go. 2nd, 28. Tied 1st.
Gosh, I can't. Who else? Like, no, I'm done.
Number
Texans.
One, they are 6th.
Yes.
22 sacks allowed.
How many more have I got to go?
Number 1. Say it in chat with me. The most sacked QB in the league right now.
I genuinely can't, like... Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron... the Packers have only given up 8 sacks this season, which is 2nd best in the league.
Gosh. That's good.
It's the Bengals.
Oh. How did I not get
28 sacks allowed again.
How did I not get it? Also, Matt, we absolutely need to just delete the Jets at this point.
Yes.
I love that. It's just...
Absolutely. It's...
It's embarrassing now.
It is. Absolutely is.
Oh. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
bad.
of course it's Joe Burrow. I can't believe that... Yeah, I didn't get that the first time around. That's... Yeah, it's so stupid. Anyway.
Yeah. It's that's... You've got to... That's part of that needs to be scheming, get the ball out of your hands quicker, especially in places like Washington and the Eagles as well. I reckon.
Yeah. Well, that was
Bengals
one of the
is
interesting
just poor
things.
line.
Yeah, Bengals is just so poor.
Jaguars is a little bit of that, as is Texans.
Yeah, I think this week proved the Jaguars. It was interesting this week. The O-line criticism started to creep in, so that actually the offensive coordinator said, actually I'm happy with the O-line we've got, and actually the fans are just now looking at it like, okay, Minshew is not the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's really solid. Like, he's not.
Yeah.
Also, our wide receivers, yes, okay, we don't have the most elite wide receivers, but we've got a really good core of wide receivers. Like, I think I read somewhere that someone said, like, the Jaguars have absolutely a number 1 wide receiver in DJ Chark, and then they've just got a sort of pool of number 2 receivers.
Problem is, that's exactly what's happening. But you need to target DJ Chark more.
Oh, you do. But I think that's part of the problem. I think that's part of it coming under scheming again, is because they're having to release the ball a little bit quicker, and probably because they don't have the time to build up these bigger plays. They aren't giving him chance to get open and to do something with it. And also that's part of the problem, because he's not getting targets. We don't know what his skill set is. So you want to throw. So you're going to throw your screens and your short passes to someone like Laviska Shenault, who you know can do work, like with it short. So why give those receptions to DJ Chark when you know you've got someone who can do it? But then you won't
Yeah.
know if DJ Chark
Chanel
can
has
do
been
it.
amazing.
He's been amazing.
He's
Just
been
genuinely
incredible.
So good. Keelan Cole had 180 yards or something a couple
Yeah.
of weeks ago. Like,
Shall we
Yeah.
move on from the Eagles Giants and we go? What else do you want to talk about in this week? Some
well,
incredible
I was just gonna,
comebacks.
yeah, I was just gonna
It's-
say on the
including
Eagles
Giants.
Giants. Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna say on the Eagles Giants. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh yeah, we were talking about bad O lines.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely the O line for the Eagles, and I made sure to watch this game carefully because I wanted to back up my comments about Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
His decision making is taking a hit. I don't know why. I don't know what the cause of it is. Maybe it is because he feels under pressure the entire time.
I think that's going to be a big reason.
But I really believe that he's still a really good quarterback. The sort of throws that he made in that game, his athletic ability, his ability to extend plays, all of these sorts of things. And when he throws the ball, he throws it well. It's just the thing that he's really struggling with decision making. That was nowhere more evident than the horrible interception he threw. It just did not make sense to throw that pass. It just did not make sense.
There's something I've noticed the last couple of weeks. The Eagles are showing some grit.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I think it's more players rather than coaching, actually, in my opinion.
Interesting, yeah.
They nearly came back against the Ravens. They did really well. They were 20 down, weren't they? 30-10 down or something.
Yeah.
Scored 18 points.
Yeah.
They were 21-10 down this week. Came back to win 22-21.
Yeah.
The players are showing up, I think.
Yeah. I think the Eagles have a lot of talent, and I agree with you that probably some of it is coaching. I think a massive part of it is that O-line. Like we keep saying every week, if you don't have a good O-line, you're not going to get anywhere. Like it won't happen for you.
Yeah.
I love your tag, by the way. Birds look cool.
What do you think of DK Metcalf? Absolute beast. Absolute beast.
If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you have. The video of him chasing Buda Baker down after that interception.
It's incredible.
The memes are fantastic. I think Sam sent me like 20 memes of the DK Metcalf chasing down Buda Baker. But his are awesome. Like, I'm so sad I didn't watch that game. Are you a Seahawks fan then? Maybe maybe the Birds' name is the Seahawks. That would be pretty cool. But I'm so sad I didn't watch the game.
Amazing game. I think
he may be one of the biggest steals of any draft class.
Absolutely. When he came out in the first year, I was like, oh, he looks good. He could be a really solid second option for the Seahawks. This year, he's a number one receiver.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he's just amazing.
I'd never understood.
And against the Cardinals, they forgot about Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, and you saw the massive game he had.
Yeah,
because
he started off the game with like 2 touchdowns and 100 yards.
Yeah. You think about when Tyler Lockett first came into the league, the reason that he did so well is because the Seahawks had an absolute number one wide receiver in Doug Baldwin. And
now the thing about Doug Baldwin, he's a very Tyler Lockett build guy.
Yeah, but that was the thing, is because
he was
of what
kind
he
of
did.
5'9", 5'10", and could make the plays that you get your 6-foot receivers doing.
Yeah. And that was the thing, is because he was your obvious number one, Tyler Lockett was able to sneak in there with in the number 2 role and really dominate. Like, I had him in fantasy and he was that year or so, and he was really good. And now that Tyler Lockett's taken that number 1 role, you saw a dip in his production. And so now that DK Metcalf has started to take number 1 production, Tyler Lockett's able to slip back into that number 2 role, and he's like you say, he's slipping in between the zones, picking up kind of large gains as he has done his whole career. And Tyler Lockett's really worth following on Instagram, by the way. Like his, genuinely.
Here's his stat line: 15 receptions, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, 2 receptions, 23 yards.
Yeah.
And that shows you how well they stopped him. But still, Tyler Lockett went down and won the game. I'm going to about this game for a little bit
Yeah,
because
no,
it
go
was
for it, go for it.
It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I want to know, like, Birds That Coolers talked about the flag that you were talking about earlier, and I don't know what that flag is. You guys are gonna have to explain that to me.
So it was pretty much a wide receiver screen to DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course.
and,
Throw
yeah.
it to your 6 foot whatever he is, like.
Yeah, and he's got like 440 speed, so he's
Gosh.
he's
on
incredible.
evidence.
He is
Holding,
an absolute physical beast. It was a holding call, and it was absolutely the right call. It was clear holding,
Okay.
so it was correct to bring it back. I understand why Seahawks fans will be mad at it, but it was the absolutely correct call.
Yeah.
From an unbiased opinion. I mean, I didn't know who I wanted to watch the game, win the game, which is why it was so good watching it. I'm just glad Chris Carson was out halfway through the game because I was playing against him and he needed 6 points to win.
Ooh, gosh.
And he got
you.
3.4 and then went out of the game.
For the record, we don't wish anyone gets injured, but it is useful when you're playing fantasy.
Yeah. Seahawks went 10-0 up.
Yeah. Standard.
And they were up 27-17 in the half. Their defense came out to play a little bit. Held them to 7 points in the second half.
Yeah.
While scoring 17 of their own. And it was absolutely evident the weak part of the team for the Seahawks. It's the defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a really interesting comment about that actually this week. That I can't remember who it was. I think it was an ex-player. Was it Christian Hackenberg? That would have been if I pulled that out of my hat, that would have been amazing. Sorry, ex-player.
Yeah.
He said this week that he doesn't think Pete Carroll's defense has changed since he's been there, and that it's a really predictable defense. And so he was saying that so what I think he was saying is that basically it works if you've got good players to make it work, like the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
But actually, part of the reason that
they just don't have the players for it at the moment.
Yeah, but also part of the reason the Seahawks haven't been dominant, like had a dynasty, is because it's a really basic, predictable defense.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to come to this. I don't think they were covering the game. They were.
What were the targets and
Buda
receptions? What were the targets and receptions? Because that might say something really interestingly about
Buda
about these two
Baker.
players.
Absolutely.
That was a bad throw. Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, DK Metcalf was targeted 5 times.
Okay, and how about Tyler
Had
Lockett?
two catches for 20 targets.
Okay. So I think
watching it, Buda Baker especially absolutely dominated DK Metcalf for the entirety of the game until he got tackled on the 7-yard line.
Oh, what a punt! Sorry. Yeah.
But that's a big reason. Buda Baker is one of the best safeties in the league this year. Deserves the money he got in the off season, and
he did get a big contract, didn't he?
And at the time, I was thinking, really, is he that good? And then I saw this game especially showed.
Yeah,
he was incredible. With the pick as well, Russell Wilson had no idea he was going to pick it off.
Birds, are you talking about the 2 interceptions? Because those are the most annoying. Like,
I mean,
DK catches.
The Buda Baker interception was a great pick on his part. Russell Wilson had no idea; he didn't see it coming. It was an incredible read.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing was once it got into overtime, the Cardinals' defense shined.
Yeah.
Forcing a punt on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And then they basically iced their own kicker.
I saw that in the memes.
Yeah, it was going to be a what was it? It was going to be a 41-yard field goal.
Yeah.
And they had to call a timeout because they ran out of time.
Gosh, yeah.
But Zane Gonzalez kicked it through.
Oh.
And so it goes to kick it again, and it's wide left. And so that gives the Seahawks good field position on their 31. And then Russell Wilson throws an interception, and you should see that interception. Isaiah Simmons, one of the most talented rookies this year, hasn't shown up much. But
no, I read somewhere he only had 5 what was it? 5 defensive snaps the entirety of this game, of that game, or something like that.
Oh, I thought he had 5. I'm pretty sure he had like 5 tackles and then an interception, but I'll check the stats.
Okay. Oh, that was a bad throw.
But he showed up big time.
Yeah.
There we have a look.
Oh, I can't.
Okay, maybe you did play 5 snaps. You didn't have a tackle actually.
Considering that Birds is calling this
but
the best game
has,
of the week, I need to really watch this game.
Yeah, you absolutely do. He has 440 speed. He can play linebacker or safety. They're playing him in linebacker. And in overtime especially, the Cardinals felt more comfortable. They brought more pressure.
Yeah.
And that was the way to win.
Yeah.
That's absolutely how they did it. They brought they had 6 along the line during a lot of that overtime. And then they would like drop different players. And this was, I believe it was a 3rd down. Yeah, it was 3rd and 14.
Yeah.
And they have 6 along the line again. And then they drop the 2 middle linebackers.
Yeah.
And as they're running back to try and cover, Wilson throws it. It's a fairly quick throw. Isaiah Simmons just picks it off.
Yeah.
Just lifts his hands up and picks it off.
Yeah.
Because Wilson didn't read the coverage very well.
Yeah.
And then
they
go and kick a 48-yard field goal. So
it
was...
There's a great question here from Birds. Do you think after this game, do you think the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl? I think this will help us talk about a few teams because I think it was last week. Actually, for the last 2 weeks, we've said the same thing. We think Pittsburgh are going to win the AFC, and the NFC will be between the Seahawks and the Packers. But after this week, and bear in mind the Packers lost last week as well. If you had to pick between one of the two of them, or is another team coming into the NFC battle on the Super Bowl side?
Buccaneers are one of the most complete teams in the league this year.
Yeah.
However, they've been doing really well against some not great defenses.
Yeah.
So they dominated the Packers.
Yeah.
But the Packers don't have the best defense. Is the problem?
Yeah, but Bucks have got AB as well coming now. So
I don't think that's going to do them any better.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I think AB is not going to be he's not a top 2 receiver. He's not going to be because you've got Chris Godwin, sorry, and Mike Evans.
Yeah, and Scotty Miller.
And you've got
and
Scotty Miller. He's been doing really well.
Really under the radar as well.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested. Yeah, like I don't know what's happened to AB. We'll have to see if
Bucks lost to the Saints. Who have good defense, and then they lost to the Bears, who have good defense.
Yeah.
They've won against Raiders, Packers, Chargers, Broncos, and Panthers. All have fairly mediocre defenses.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say that the Raiders losing this game. Oh, yeah, the Raiders losing this game has proved that actually the only thing it's proved is that their defense can't push them over the line in games.
Yes, I think it's very similar to the Packers this year, as in the Packers can absolutely dominate teams. But they have to show it against the better teams. So they play the Saints again, actually, the Bucks. They play the Rams and the Chiefs. I look forward to those games.
Yeah.
Against the Rams and the Chiefs to see if they're. So basically, I think week 9 to 12, with the Bucks. Sorry, my headphones just fell off.
That's right.
If they win 3 out of 4 of those, or I reckon, then you can consider them an actual.
Do you think then that the Seahawks are still favourites, or are you suggesting that if the Buccaneers can win some good games, they're the favourites? And
I think it depends.
Okay.
Seahawks are still amazing, but they've shown that they're not, or shown that they need to have a better defense.
It goes back to we said. I think we said it a couple of weeks ago that the NFC is going to be won by whoever's defense shows up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think every team's proved that so far. Like the Packers showed that against the Bucks. The Seahawks showed that against the Cardinals. If their defense shows up, they win games. The one week it doesn't, it falls apart. And I think the
Yeah,
Buccaneers.
no,
I don't think.
the way to stop the Seahawks is get them to 3rd and long. And
Yeah,
you could see that this week as well.
Yeah.
The Cardinals forced them into a few 3rd and longs. That's where Isaiah Simmons got the pick in the
Yeah.
on 3rd and 14 in overtime.
Yeah.
That's the way to stop them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. R.I.P. Patriots. Yeah. Oh. And Vikings.
Uh,
So many teams
yeah.
to talk about there. Gosh.
Vikings on a bye, and they're up against the Packers this week, so that's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Should we go to Patriots?
Yeah, go on. Everyone's talking about the Patriots. The Seahawks are definitely doing better than the Patriots. And yeah, I know it's fun. It's fun to say. I like being able to say that after the Patriots dynasty. But,
Yeah, same.
but yeah, like
I mean, Jimmy G didn't have the best game.
that was a really messy game.
20 of 25, 277, 2 picks.
Yeah, it was such a messy game.
Yeah.
I think I watched most of the early games on Red Zone, and I think where to start? Where to start? I really don't know where to start. I think I'm going to start with Cam
Patriots
Newton.
defense.
I think I'm going to start with Cam Newton, because I think most of the Patriots' woes were just on him. Actually, I think the 49ers. Like you said, the 49ers offense didn't have a lot of luck, but their defense consistently put pressure on Cam Newton.
467 yards for the 49ers, 270 passing, 197 running.
Yes.
Which is impressive.
It is. And I think the Patriots just had an all-round bad game.
They had a nightmare. 16% on 3rd down.
I always want to bring up the Patriots' sequence pass interception in the Super Bowl, even though it's so long ago. Why not run it? It makes me so... Yeah. It is one of the most confusing moments in sports history.
Yeah.
You've got...
And I believe it was the game before that, I think it was Packers-Seahawks championship game, is where the Hail Mary took place.
Wow.
I believe it was that anyways. It might have been divisional or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they had much knowledge.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
it's like... it's so crazy. And that's... I enjoyed the Patriots losing to the Seahawks this year with Cam Newton running it at the goal line. Because it was...
here's something about Cam Newton. He has shown this year that, well, he's come back from injury. He might still be a bit nicked, but I don't know.
I would doubt it. But...
I doubt it. He's not running it as well. 5 rushes for 19 yards. And this year he's showing he's not a good enough passer to supplement that running.
Yeah. No, he's not it.
Whereas you have Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson who can run it, and that will offset them not, or certainly Kyler Murray, his turnover problems and stuff when he passes it.
Yeah.
If he runs it a little more, he can counteract that.
Yeah.
Whereas with Cam Newton this year, he's not showing he can run it well enough to not be the best passer.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Just important play. I thought Birds. I thought you were talking about the Patriots, and I was going to make a really interesting point about. I'm going to pose an interesting question for you, Sam, about the Patriots. But I realised you were talking about the Cowboys. Cowboys, we will get around to because it just.
It pains me. It does pain me.
It was painful to.
What's your question? Let's.
Sorry. Yeah. So, because I thought Birds' question was about the Patriots and them having lost Brady. I was going to say, now that they've lost Brady, who was obviously a good quarterback and proved he's a good quarterback. Do you now? You've benched Cam Newton. And you said he was going to be your starter. You said at the beginning of the year you were happy with Jarrett Stidham, but again, not an elite talent by any means.
Yeah.
Do you now? It's Week 8's trade deadline coming up. Do you now trade for another quarterback? Like our hero, Sam Darnold.
I don't know if he's a good fit.
Okay.
And I think Patriots build through the draft. I
Ooh.
don't think they make any trades because I think they need to rebuild.
Wow, do you really think Patriots are in?
Not a
Rebuild
full-blown rebuild, but they need to get younger everywhere across the board.
Yeah.
And
I think that was
say
quite.
you can switch between Cam Newton and Jarrett Stidham as much as you want for this season, depending who's playing well. I think because in my opinion, the Patriots have lost their identity.
I was going to say that because I thought the first couple of games of the season, where I think the Patriots went 2-0, they definitely seemed to have this identity that they didn't just stick Cam Newton in; they used his potential as a runner. And and I think I remember someone commenting that the Patriots' goal line back was Cam Newton.
Yes, yeah.
And I thought that was their identity. I thought actually Bill Belichick's a genius. He's taken a risk on Cam Newton. It's paid off. The Patriots are still going to be contenders.
Yeah.
And also
he's shown now that he's not a good enough passer to support that.
No, absolutely. It's I absolutely agree. He has shown that his I think I don't quite understand what has happened. Oh, that was an awful throw. Ooh, it's all good. He has massively declined because clearly the system was working earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would be going insane if I was to suggest that Belichick has changed his system and that's not what is working. I feel like he must have been.
It's going to be teams catching on. Teams watch game tape every single week.
That's a really good point. Yeah,
and,
that's a really good point.
They see what's worked against that team before.
Yeah.
So especially with 49ers will have seen what's working against the Patriots. And things like that. They do that every single week. Yeah. Every single team looks at the opponents they've got next, looks at game tape of how people have won against them, how they've played well.
Yeah.
And they go, what's worked in this game?
Yeah. I think you made a good point.
How can we emulate that with our scheme?
Yeah. I think you made a really good point about defense as well, is that the defense at the start of the year looked really good, but they're starting to struggle. Yeah. They're really starting to struggle.
The Patriots need an identity.
They can't. The defense can't carry this team for the entire year.
No, and the defense is getting old as well.
Yeah.
If you think the Patriots drafted like 2 tight ends this year, I think.
Yeah.
Neither of which have played very well, which isn't necessarily their fault because one of them has been injured.
Yeah.
But they just don't have the potential. Edelman's dropping balls.
Yeah.
He's dropping catches. He's not playing well.
And actually, I will say this about the game. A really interesting matchup I saw was Edelman versus Fred Warner. And you think linebacker Fred Warner...
Fred Warner is one of the most underrated linebackers in the league.
He had Edelman covered that entire game.
Fred Warner, amazing. The middle linebacker, covered one of the best postseason receivers we've seen in the league. Especially.
So Bears has got another great question. Do you think DK Metcalf might be the next Megatron?
Potentially, he already is.
Oh, wow.
If you look at the progression from last season to this season, and if you think last season, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you think this season, he's amazing. What's he going to do next season?
Yeah.
How's he going to continue to develop? He looks amazing. I think the next Megatron is a big leap, but I can see it happening.
Yeah, I think.
But you've got to think about there are other players out there as well that are very similar. You've got Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, I think
who is a beast. I think he could be the next Megatron as well.
Wow.
It's players like that.
Yeah, I think if you look at the way Metcalf has played and his history and him going up, it's that there's only one way from here. Like it's only up from here for Metcalf.
Yeah.
And if his career continues to go the trajectory it's already at,
yeah,
there's no question he will become a legend. It's
yeah.
My only worry for him would be Russell Wilson. does Russell Wilson continue to play well as he ages, or
Yeah.
does the transition to another quarterback disrupt that? But I would argue, even with a new quarterback, he's going to be a really reliable piece.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And also, VSH Gray, yes, I think it's time to drop Edelman.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember looking up statistically that Metcalf's combine was almost identical to Megatron's. Like, I haven't looked into it in depth, but yeah, I remember them talking about that when that came out.
Yeah, so Megatron only did four drills on the combine.
Okay.
He did 40-yard dash. Oh, well, no, he only did 40-yard, 20-yard split, and actually, no, he only did 40-yard dash. He didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
It was 4.38. DK got 4.33.
Gosh, I don't understand where it went down.
DK is slightly smaller.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I don't know where the hype disappeared for Metcalf. It was all there, and it's only just disappeared. And it was so. I found it so bizarre because I was like, "What has changed?" Like, genuinely, like, what's changed? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah,
I wish I was. Yeah, trust me, I'm 5'4". I wish I was 6'3" as well. Like, yeah. Seeing as I've just started a play now game against the Bengals, should we talk about these comebacks that we've talked about that we put in the title?
It was.
So
yeah,
we've got
it was amazing.
Browns, Bengals, Lions, Falcons. I feel so sorry for the Falcons. We've talked about the Eagles, Giants. Yeah. We both said this like when we were talking before.
Well, Steelers Titans was
Titans
close.
Almost, yeah. Oh,
almost.
We'll start with
Gostkowski missing a kick. There was.
I was so happy. I can't lie. As a Jaguars fan, and Gostkowski having made 3 game-winning field goals in a row or something.
Yeah,
to see him miss
one of the best.
Was just it made me happy. Anyway, we'll start with Browns Bengals because I said I felt so sorry for the Falcons. You said you felt so sorry for Joe Burrow. Let's start with that one.
5
0-5. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, 5 lead-changing scores.
Wow.
In the fourth quarter.
Gosh.
Which is a record in the NFL. Here's the scoring breakdown. Cleveland had 17 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Bengals had 20.
Yeah.
Cleveland then scored 20 in the fourth, and Bengals scored 14.
Yeah.
37 points in the first 3 quarters, and then another 34 in the final quarter.
Yeah. Gosh. 5'8's not bad to try and get to the NFL, by the way, Birds. You can do it. Like, there have been shorter guys. Just
shortest guy to score a touchdown is 5'5".
Yeah.
Return specialist. He was a Bronco.
Yeah. You work hard, you can do it. Like, what's your route looking like? Are you at American College or the British Academy, or like? I'd be really interested to see how you're trying to do that. Also, Sam, when you said 5, I thought you were going to talk about Mayfield's 0-5 and 2 interception start. And then
that was
22
crazy.
out of 23 or something.
Yeah.
And let's talk about him for a minute. Like, is Mayfield good? We had a little bit chat about this earlier. Like, I think Tariq Cohen's 5'6" tall. I think also.
He's 1.68 meters.
Oh wow, he's not much taller than I am then.
No. Look at Darren Sproles is the same. Boston Scott is the same. Jakeem Grant is the same.
Yeah.
Edward Hilaire is only 1.7.
Yeah.
Taylor Gabriel's 1.7. LaMarcus Joyner, a safety, is 1.72.
Gosh, really? He's really
Yeah.
good then for a slightly smaller safety.
One of the smallest players to score a touchdown, Trindon Holiday, 1.65.
Wow. Okay.
He scored a kick return
Yes.
touchdown.
About to do a QB draw with Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh no!
Come on, Big Ben, let's do this.
Seahawks are 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
5-1.
Yeah,
It's
5.
Week 7, they've
think.
had a bye week, so it's 5-1.
Oh, so they're keeping on going. Oh yeah, of course they had bye week. Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
So this has been also the thing
Yes.
to bear in mind for Mayfield this year. I think it's a contract year, or it's getting close to one. Do you think the Browns, because he's shown flashes of brilliance, he's also shown that sort of 0-5 2 interception form? Does Mayfield get a new contract?
He needs to prove himself.
Yeah.
He still needs to prove himself. Okay, so he's got one more year after this on his contract. I think he might be a restricted free agent that year, but he's in 2022.
Yeah.
No. So he's signed a 4-year, $32 million contract with the Browns as a rookie.
Okay. Oh, Tory thinks he's going to get a new contract.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised, but I think he needs to prove himself.
If I was a betting man, of which I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised if he finds a new contract at a different team.
Yes,
Because
the
if
Browns still have the 5th-year option available on him.
Yeah, I think unless he can prove himself to be a consistently good enough quarterback, which I don't think he has, and I think the Browns' new culture with kind of bringing in new guys and actually starting to kind of, I don't know, do good things, I think they would be tempted to go look at a more consistent option.
Yes. For me, the Browns aren't the biggest quarterback team.
No, a lot of what they have comes through the running back. They just sort of need a Garoppolo or a Tannehill to throw the play action passes.
Absolutely.
And I think that they can find that in a backup option like Andy Dalton or I'm trying to think of the other backups around the league that could come into that.
Flacco.
Sorry?
Flacco.
How did Cam Chancellor get injured? Sorry, yeah, I didn't answer your question because I wasn't sure. What you were trying to say. Do you know how Cam Chancellor got injured? I thought I think he just retired. I thought that was my.
I will look it up.
Sam's our stat guy. He finds everything. He'll get it for you. Yeah, my Mayfield thing is having seen how the league works with quarterbacks. I don't agree with it, but a lot of it is you get paid based on your play. And because he's not a very consistent quarterback, I don't think the Browns are willing enough to give him a big contract, because I don't think that they will think he's worth it. Which means then either he takes a lower contract to be the starter at the Browns, which works amazingly for the Browns because they get a long-term cheap option who can throw the ball the way they need him to.
Yeah.
But then I don't think Mayfield will want to do that. So I think he'll end up potentially not signing that. But that's the thing, is I think he would sign that because he needs to guarantee himself a team.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he has a couple of good years if he doesn't sign it and ends up getting an Andy Dalton type or Cam Newton type contract at a team like the Patriots.
Yeah, that would work well for him. I also kind of see the Steelers being a good fit.
Yeah, I agree, Matt. I agree with Matt's comment earlier. I think it could go either way. I think like Sam said with this 5th-year option, I think he's got the rest of this year and I think a 5th-year option to prove himself.
Yeah. Okay, Cam Chancellor, while I'm here.
Yeah.
2017 season, he signed a 3-year, $36 million contract extension.
Yeah.
Suffers a neck injury in week 10.
Ooh.
and is placed on IR. Still made the Pro Bowl,
Wow.
or was named a Pro Bowl alternate,
Yeah. That just shows you how.
despite only playing 9 games. It hadn't healed enough by the 2018 season for him to play,
Okay.
and so he was put on the physically unable to perform list in 2018.
Good old pup list.
He stayed on the roster that year for money. But in September 2018, he revealed he had spinal stenosis and bone spurs in his neck.
Ooh.
And so, one of his tweets: "To walk away from the game by choice is one thing. To walk away from the game because of risk of paralysis is another."
Oh, poor guy.
So, if you want to know what they are, spinal stenosis is the normal narrowing of the spinal canal.
Okay.
That results in pressure on the spinal cord or nerve roots.
Oh dear.
Bone spurs, just formation of new bone on the surface of the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he failed a physical in 2019 and hasn't played since.
Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, poor Cam.
Yeah,
Gosh.
he was absolutely one of the best safeties I've
He
seen.
was
in a
amazing.
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only 32 now.
Another player that retired way too early.
Yeah. How many seasons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 or 7.5 seasons he played.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was amazing. Sorry, continue where you were going.
No, it's right. I think I finished what I was going to say about Mayfield.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, with the. I think it brings up an interesting conversation about the Brown, not the Browns. Well, I don't know. It's such a weird game. Like we did this in our video. Which teams are actually good? How can two teams like the Browns and the Bengals have such a close game like that, in which they were so closely matched and played so well, both teams, and for the Bengals to be a one-win team, and
1-5-1.
Yeah,
and the Browns to be now 5-2.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Because even if the Bengals win that one, that's 2 wins, and the Browns are still on 4. It just
that's the amazing thing about the NFL, and that's part of what I love. That every game could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always when I'm trying to predict them. It's always just a probability.
Yeah, I think that's been one of my favourite things about.
Who am I more sure on?
This. Yeah, that's been one of my favourite things about this season, is that, like, we've just started this kind of streaming podcasty thing because we love sports and love talking about sports. But this year has just been so hard to talk about because every team is so even. It's like this year we can't predict certain things and say
it's who gets lucky, who gets unlucky a lot of the time.
And it's also who just plays better. Like much of it we can't just say. It's great. Yeah,
a lot of the injuries on the 49ers team has absolutely blown the NFC wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they were fully healthy,
which I like,
there's no question.
It's always sad to see a lot of starters, and they have a lot of starters out. It's always sad to see that, but I'm kind of glad that it has meant the NFC is an open door at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, Birds, like, to your question, like, if you're in America, I'm sure there are events and stuff that you can go to. But
one of the things I would love to see is the opening of Green Bay Packers training camp.
Because that's a good point.
They all ride in on people's bikes, and you can go see it, and it's public and stuff, and it's awesome.
I was going to say when teams next do public events, as far as I'm aware, you can go to training camps and open practices and things.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many teams do them.
I think lots of teams do.
Because the Packers always make it a really big thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We're from England, and I don't know the inner workings of practice things. But as far as I have seen videos of team practices and things in which fans are allowed to go to them. So there is an option.
Most of the time, I think it would be training camp, so it's going to be during the summer.
Yeah.
I would think the majority. During NFL season, I don't think there'd be any
Yeah.
open practice sessions. But training camp and I would think occasionally preseason, but I doubt it. You'd get the occasional. You'd get sometimes when you could.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with Torre's comment. It's so nice to not have one team dominating the league. It's so much more even and so much more competitive, which is just a whole lot more fun to watch than guaranteeing one team's going to win every week.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes our job a whole lot more fun as well, talking about it, rather than predictions.
Yeah.
This team's always going to win. Let's talk about how that team won. Like,
Yeah. Right. Do you want to talk Cowboys? I kind of want to talk Cowboys.
Yeah, we really need to get
so
our Cowboys. We need to get our Cowboy fan on to talk about it.
I find myself talking about the Cowboys a lot of the time, and either that's because there's a lot of news going on, or I feel like I could manage that team better.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. We were literally telling each other this week, to some of the things that teams have done, we're literally sitting there like we could have done a better job than them at this point. Like, it's so yeah. The Cowboys, yeah, literally are just a bit tragic. They really need.
They need direction. They need to utilize their best players. I've said this before, and I will say it again. Feed Zeke.
Well, that's a funny thing because I've read some interesting statistics which show his production. Not his production. His production is the right word. It's going down. It's like his yards per carry. He's ranked 20th or something in the league. It's not.
Right,
I agree with you. He needs to be. He needs to be given more than he has. Yes, but he needs to be given more than he is being given. But at the same time, he's not performing.
He's still over 4 yards a carry. He's 4.1 yards a carry,
which is pretty good.
Which is good. That's if you can manage over 4 yards a carry, you're showing you're a good running back.
Yeah. I would love to cry with Cat for 2.4 hours and pretend I support the Chiefs. Sometimes we all feel a bit like that, Matt. I feel that.
Yeah. but the thing with Zeke, he's not the kind of guy who you hand the ball a couple of times and he'll break off good yardage.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy you feed him, he gets more yardage throughout the game.
Yeah.
Keep on feeding him and he will get the yardage.
Do the Cowboys need to go to more of a Titans-esque system that works on kind of bulldozing and kind of just keep kind of pushing and plodding, and especially since they don't have a lot of what's the word? They've got a lot of injuries. They're really struggling. They're not playing well.
Yeah.
Do they need to go to a system like the Titans, in which it's better for teams that are struggling because it just relies on hard-nosed, consistent play, rather than relying on guys to play well?
This season, yes.
I just got a Hail Mary. Oh my goodness. Wait,
wow.
What's the flag? What's the flag? Wait, what?
Let's watch the stream.
Yes! Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
Sorry, I'm just going to see this. Wow. Oh, okay, yeah, Juju, yeah, nice catch.
Oh, wait, no, the kick got blocked. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, no. No, they're going to return it for 2 points. No. No.
Oh, that's rough. Oh, dear.
Oh, Matt, you've summed it up perfectly. That was clutch. That was... Oh, dear.
And to sum up the Jaguars season.
Don't even get me started. Blocked punt,
but yes,
blocked punt.
That
blocked
was
punt.
impressive. That was impressive.
That was.
But yes, the Cowboys need to run it more.
Yeah, I think it's that simple. Honestly, genuinely.
Honestly, you have Tony Pollard. Both are good running backs.
Just play a Brown system. Like, so many
Yeah.
teams this year are proving that running the ball consistently with a quarterback who just throws play action, it's a good system and it works. Yes, it's not the
Yeah.
most exciting football, but it works. Like,
Yeah. You've got teams like the Bucks and the Browns who are absolutely running it down the
Yeah.
faces of other teams, and it's working.
yeah. I think of the Titans
And
as well.
that's what you do.
Yeah,
Derrick
is-
Henry has 20 more rushing attempts than anyone else in the league,
yeah. It just
and
it-
he's
yeah.
and he's got like 110 more yards than anyone else.
It sometimes it does. I am in disbelief that top NFL personnel don't know how to play football.
I think,
I like-
yeah, I
okay,
think it's
let me-
more,
let me-
it's
let me say
more
that again.
that the Cowboys scheme. I've talked about this plenty of times, and I talked about this last week. Mike McCarthy doesn't know how to run.
Yeah,
It happened in Green Bay, and it's happening now in the Cowboys
yeah,
in Dallas. He's not running it as much as he should. He's not feeding the players he should,
yeah,
and it's showing. And yes,
Yeah.
you've got some horrible injuries, but you were like 2-2, 2-3
yeah.
with your starters, with a team that has so much talent.
Yeah. Yeah, it just
And yeah,
yeah, like you say, I think it's. I'm sure there is. I was going to say, I'm sure there is more to. There's like I'm not going. I say I'm disparaging kind of these all this NFL personnel who have years more experience than we do, and it
Yeah.
seems so simple to us. And that's probably because it's simple to us, but it's very complex in their situations. But I agree with you. Mike McCarthy has shown in the past that he likes to play a certain way, and in Green Bay it did not work, and for the Cowboys at the moment it is not working. Like,
yeah, it showed in Green Bay. So when Aaron Rodgers is injured and stuff like that, it showed that you can't scheme for your better players when your QB's injured, or
Yeah.
and just stuff like that.
yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. It just bugs me. It just annoys me. I'm not a fan of Mike McCarthy anymore.
fair enough.
He won as the Super Bowl in Green Bay. I think that's just off the back of Aaron Rodgers having the most incredible MVP season.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is really scary. Like, and
he is.
and I feel I like the way the Titans play is phenomenal. Like, I was watching the Pittsburgh game and I was kind of like, I really want Pittsburgh to win because I don't like the Titans, and but you can't deny the impressiveness with which they play, especially late in games. Their defense was stuffing them. The Steelers, and they brought that game back really close at the end, and unlucky for Gostowski. It just
Yeah, the thing with the Titans and Derrick Henry, you run the ball often, not necessarily all the time. You do play action, you do pass it,
yeah.
but you keep on running the ball throughout the game. Derrick Henry, I think he's 6'4", 6'5", 240, 247.
Yeah.
He's an absolute beast. He's a linebacker
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
playing running back
He is.
with 440 speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had it often. First couple of quarters, he's going to get stuffed. He's going to get stopped. Titans don't necessarily have the best O-line.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you keep on running it, you keep on running it. Sooner or later, 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, oh, he's got a 75-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
That's how he plays, that's how he does well.
Yeah.
He continues to break tackles as often as he can. And then sooner or later, the defense is going, I don't want to tackle this guy anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Josh Norman stiff arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that's
think
weird.
he's... Yeah. Would you want to tackle a 6'5", 247-pound
No, exactly.
guy running at you at 20 miles an hour
Yeah.
after you've already attempted to tackle him 10 times already that game, and he's pummeled you every single time?
No, exactly. Like, it's just... It's a nope.
Yeah.
It's a nope from me.
Yeah. That's how Henry gets his yards.
Yeah. It's good to see Gronk playing better as well, Matt. I thought I say it's
he
nice to
needed
see.
the time to he needed time to get used to the system
Yeah,
and to get back
fit
to
again.
fitness. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
but he's fine. He's finally making heads-up plays and doing quite well.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be not. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be nasty.
Yeah. Gronk looks like an uncle. I love that. Yeah. Should we do some predictions?
Go on. Right.
My phone's just died, which is sad. So I need you to send some games
I
my
like
way.
this. Thursday night football. Falcons Panthers.
I think there's only one answer here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a shame that
Panthers
McCaffrey's
are
not
gonna-
back, but
It is.
Falcons.
But
Really? Wow, brave.
No.
I think Panthers.
Falcons' terrible secondary aren't going to hold up against the Panthers' passing attack. DJ Moore played amazing in the last game, and
Panthers,
he's really
yeah.
picking up the pace. Robbie Anderson
I know.
has
Top 10 wide
been
receiver.
stellar. Yeah,
I think Panthers. I wouldn't call them a lock on the playoffs just yet because of how difficult the NFC.
no way
South
near. They're
is.
3-4.
Are they? Oh, I thought they were 4
Yeah.
and 3. Right.
No,
No. Okay. Yeah. I would say that they have an outside chance of getting the.
They do.
playoffs. It just depends how well they do in the NFC South.
especially when
and that's why I
McCaffrey
think-
comes back as well.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if that makes things easier or harder. And
Yeah,
I do agree. I understand why you've said the Falcons because Falcons looked better in against the Lions, but then again, it was the Lions. So
that was the most Falcons game you could play.
I feel so sorry for Todd Gurley, but again,
That is the most Falcons thing that can happen.
yeah, like I don't understand why he didn't stop sooner.
Yeah.
I understand he wanted the first
that's the way
down,
to
but
choke away a game by scoring.
It was
a
so
touchdown.
it was really sad and it was unfortunate. I
Yeah.
do feel really sorry for them, but at the same time,
You've got to play better defense than that as well.
yeah, like don't let them back into the game. Like
Yeah.
even like that touchdown shouldn't have mattered if you can stop that last one. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, great question, Matt.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I think the Jaguars would lose to the Jets if they played, but
Let me get up the Jets schedule.
but the Jets don't play the Jaguars, which is I'm so glad. And no, I don't think the Jets will win again. I just don't think they can, unless a team is really tired, is really struggling. They've had played some really difficult teams, and so they underestimate the Jets. Then I can see a Jets team led by Sam Darnold that's underestimated. I can see the Jets pulling something out,
They're not
But-
winning a game this season.
but no, I don't.
Look at their schedule. Chiefs, Patriots, then they have a bye of Week 10. Chargers, Dolphins, Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, Browns, Patriots.
They could beat the Patriots if Cam Newton wants to play as badly as he did on Sunday.
Potentially, but I still don't see it
No, I
happening.
don't know. I don't. Will the Jags win another game? The Jaguars' schedule from this point out gets really, really difficult. The easiest game they play is the Texans. And the Vikings.
Okay.
If I'm completely honest, the Jaguars' offense, they have shown this year that they have the capability to score 30 points a game, which is enough points to win a game. So, yes, they're not doing it consistently, but if they want to just sit down and think about it over this bye week, they have enough information now to know how to score 30 points a game, and should do.
I think they might beat Vikings Week 13.
Yeah, and I would say it just this is what blows my mind is the Jaguars have let up an average of 30 points a game. And this is the thing that annoys me as well. Is they've shown enough to do well on offense. They've also shown how awfully they are on defense. So basically, if the Jaguars decide to do something about their defense, and it's really bothering me that they're not, because it's obvious. The entire world is obvious. So why are you not firing someone or changing something? It's so obvious to the entire world. Basically, the offense.
They're not first in points allowed per game. Cowboys, 34.7.
No, but where are they?
Then Raiders, then Vikings, then Browns, then Jags.
Yeah, it's still fifth, and it just
Here's an interesting stat: who's top in yards per game allowed?
yards per game allowed.
Yeah.
Bengals.
No, they're down in like 10th.
Oh no, of course they actually have an okay defense.
They're 9th. It's the Seahawks.
Ah, that's an interesting statistic.
479.2 yards allowed per game. Then it's the Falcons with 425.9.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's an incredible gap.
Yeah. Gosh,
Jaguars are third with 424.4. But
that yards allowed.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jags genuinely do love to be laughed at. It's so frustrating. Yeah. If they beat the Patriots, I would dig myself a hole. Yeah, I think you're okay, Matt. I don't think the Jets will. Yeah.
No.
But no, I genuinely, it's literally down to that defense. The defense played unbelievably against the Colts, and we beat the Colts. The defense played. Yeah. I say the defense played well. The defense played okay against the Titans. We held Derrick Henry to 75 yards or something, which is a good game. And we only lost.
That's a low game for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, we lost that game by 3 points to the Titans, who were 5-1. Yeah. So I don't know what happened after that week, because after that week it all went downhill. But so Jaguars are on a bye week this week, so they don't have a game to predict. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But
Let's
I
go
think
next one. Patriots Bills.
Bills.
Yeah, I don't see the Patriots really bouncing back.
Yeah. Bills have had a couple of scary.
It's going to be slow.
Yeah, Bills have had a couple of scary games.
Difficulties. They are 5-2.
But they had difficulties against the Jets, but they sorted it out. And I think that's the thing is with the Jets. The Jets aren't a good enough team to win a game, and so if you want to lose to the Jets, it's about your team. And that was a good thing for the Bills. Yeah. They struggled, but they sorted their issues out. And yes, they weren't good enough to do that against the Chiefs, but then the Chiefs had it together that game, and they haven't had it together. They haven't had it together in every game this season. So So basically, what I'm saying is, the Bills will have it together for this game. They've got a good defense. I can't see them. I can't see the Patriots picking it up enough to beat a Bills team that is ready, because of their recent games.
Yeah. No, I think the Patriots, if they're going to get better, it's going to be slow. They're not going to get better quickly. It's going to be slow, and it's going to be kind of painful for them.
It is. Yeah.
I don't see them bouncing back. I see it gradually increasing.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm taking Bills there as well. Ooh, Titans Bengals. In Cincinnati.
Part of me really wants to say Bengals.
Same.
But I just can't see it happening.
No. Titans win that one. I think
they've shown some good. They've shown some good pass defense, but that's not enough to beat the Titans.
Yeah.
I think Titans win it. Yeah. They should. I think.
I am very welcome. I would be very welcome for Bengals to win that, and I would love to be pleasant. I would be pleasantly surprised. But I think Titans take it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Next one could be interesting. Raiders Browns.
The Raiders are not a bad team, but they can't beat good teams.
Yeah, I think they do bounce back. I don't think they win it.
I think they bounce back, and I think the Browns have had some injuries that have disrupted their scheme and mean that they're not as
Odell Beckham went down with the ACL.
Yeah, that's such a shame as well. I think the Browns.
I'm taking Raiders actually.
Yeah, no, sorry, I was going to say I'm taking Raiders. I think the Browns are a really good team. I think they've got their system in place. They've got the coach for it. They've got a lot of the personnel for it. But they've been hit by a few injuries, and I think because of that, they've had difficulty getting back into chemistry.
Yeah.
I think
I think
Raiders-
Baker Mayfield has a good game, and then he just proceeds to not play very well. So
Yeah. I don't think Mayfield would necessarily play badly against the Raiders. I just think
no,
I don't think he will play well enough to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Raiders take that one.
Yeah.
Colts Lions.
Colts have had a bye week. Yes.
I believe so. I can check.
So Colts had their amazing comeback win against the Bengals before that.
Yes, Colts were on a bye.
Philip Rivers is absolutely the reason that the Colts are not doing better than they are, and I say that he's the reason they're better than they're doing. They're still like 4-2 or something.
They are 4-2.
So I think they're.
It's so
weird.
Throws too many interceptions.
It's so weird because the Colts are very clearly a good team, and it's literally like we said. We said that the quarterback is not the most important position, and the Colts are proving that for us again in a different way.
Yeah.
That team is clearly built solidly on defense. They've got a fantastic O-line, decent running game. So having a quarterback that turns over the ball too often is actually not affecting them that much.
Yeah, I think Philip Rivers is. He has good quarterback play, but I think he's hindering them a lot. Actually.
I think if the Colts want to make a deep playoff run, they're going to need a better quarterback. But they're a solid enough team to pick up one of those wildcard spots, or if they can beat the Titans a couple of times, take the division from them. But I am going to say the Colts with a bye week. Who are they playing?
Lions.
Lions are good. I feel really sorry for the Lions. Because they've really clearly got some talent there. I don't understand why they keep losing. It's probably coaching. It's almost definitely just coaching. I wonder if they need to get
for Rivers to retire? Yes, it is. He needs to go.
I think he's filling in the slightly older, the veteran quarterback role well. Like I said, this is what the Colts needed. They needed a good enough. They've got a good team around them. They did just need a quarterback good enough to win them games. But at this point, it is. And so Rivers could go to someone like, just to be that veteran leader who can be there as a leader and develop younger guys. So he could potentially.
He's thrown seven touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Yeah, he could potentially be one of those guys who goes to the Browns if they decide not to keep Mayfield and things like it. But I think you're right.
I think it's time to retire.
It's potentially. I think the Colts have a difficult decision to make at the end of the year. Can Rivers take this team where they want to go? I would say he can't. And if he can't, Rivers now then needs to decide: does he become a journeyman? Does he take these 1-year contracts in other teams and things, or does he retire?
I think it is retire time. Rivers.
I wonder if the Lions' problem is not offense but defense. I think that's their problem.
Oh, absolutely. They have some studs on offense. They need defense.
They really do.
They traded away Darius Slay. They don't have Ezekiel Ansah anymore.
Yeah.
They don't have any big pieces.
No, they don't.
I don't know. I don't think they have Snacks Harrison either.
Do they not?
Don't think so.
Okay, yeah, Colts win that game then. Unless Philip Rivers turns the ball over too many times.
Yes. No, Snacks Harrison is for the Seahawks now.
Oh wow, okay. Alright then.
So Detroit just don't have any pieces on defense.
No.
Apart from
Jeff Okudah.
Jeff Okudah, who hasn't been amazing this year.
He hasn't really, has he?
No, I mean it's always difficult for corners coming into the NFL, but
yeah.
It's always difficult for rookies coming in. The only position it doesn't seem to affect as much is running back.
Yeah. Good analysis.
Quarterback will need some help, but they're usually okay.
Oh,
but
it's
the development is much more there for quarterback, whereas running
Yeah.
backs you can just kind of plug and place.
Yeah.
Next game, Vikings Packers.
Vikings have had a bye
It's-
week. They've had some
it's
time
Packers to win.
to fix some things. Yeah, I know it's the Packers. It's absolutely the Packers' game to win. I think the Vikings. Is Dalvin Cook coming back?
I am just going to check.
If Dalvin Cook's back, the Vikings potentially have had the time to work some things out and put up a contest. But they've struggled on defense with Ngakoue, and now that they've traded him away,
Dalvin Cook is questionable.
Yeah,
Anthony Barr is on IR.
yeah.
Their guard Pat Elflein is on IR. They've got a lot, 2 or 3 free corners are questionable. Daniil Hunter's on IR.
Gosh.
So Michael Pierce is
are
on
not winning it.
COVID reserve. Cameron Smith is on IR. I think that's IR. Yeah, they've got another defensive end on IR. I don't. Even with Dalvin Cook back, you've got Kirk Cousins going 11 TDs, 10 interceptions.
Interesting question. Actually, no. I think we talked about this before. I was going to say, we know thoughts on Kirk Cousins.
He's good at he's good for your teams like Washington. He's not good for your teams who have playoff aspirations.
It's a really I think I agree. I think he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback.
No, he can elevate bad teams. He's good enough to elevate bad teams. He can elevate teams like the Jets, like football team.
Yeah, I think he's.
He can't bring it to that next level.
I think
you need to push to make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like I think he can suit a good team like the Vikings. I think he's played well at the Vikings. But if they want to take the next step, they need someone.
Get rid of that contract.
Yeah, which won't happen.
He signed an extension like last year.
I think we talked about this before. It's just.
Yeah. He's thrown tied for the most interceptions this year.
Yeah, no.
I think Packers take that one.
Yeah.
And this may be the easiest game to predict.
Yeah.
Jets against Chiefs, no contest.
Chiefs,
yeah. I had Chiefs defense last week, and they played stellar against the Broncos.
Nice.
Chiefs offense didn't need to do anything. It was the defense got like 40 points, or 27 or 30 or something like that. They did amazingly. They're going to do even better this week.
Yeah, they will. They really will.
Absolutely.
Great prediction. I think 50-7 may be the result.
I think that's bold of you to assume the Jets score points.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's really fair. Oh.
I don't think. I don't see them scoring more than 7.
No, I don't see them scoring more than 7.
And to be fair, I don't see the Chiefs scoring more than like 37.
Interesting. More or less than?
More.
Fair enough. Oh,
I think they'll score and they'll be very comfortable, but they'll put the backups in early.
Wow. Gosh. Fair enough.
Ooh. Tua time.
Tua time!
He's up against the Rams.
We're excited for Tua time. Chiefs go home at half time and the Jets still don't win.
Oh yeah, that absolutely is what's going to happen. Jets, Rams versus Dolphins.
Oh, that's going to be a really good game. But the Rams played well.
Offensively, the Rams have been just kind of chugging along.
Yeah, I think
they're managing to score points. It's when the defense shows up that they have good games. And they absolutely showed up against the Bears last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or last
I
night, anyways.
I can. Ooh, that's an interesting because I watched that game because I was really intrigued because I think both of those teams are really intriguing playoff
They are.
prospects. I think a lot of the Bears' woes again came down to not great offensive play.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether the Dolphins could do slightly better because I think they will have good I do think they'll have good offensive play,
Yeah, I think it's
but it's
how the Rams defense comes out.
yeah,
Will they put Tua under pressure? I think is the big thing.
yeah.
And also, how does the Dolphins defense do? Because the
I think,
Rams
yeah.
offense has shown they've not been great. They've been solid, not great. So if you can stop them, if you can hold them,
Yeah,
then you've got a good chance.
I think it's a bit like we said last week. I can't remember which game it was, but I think this is the Rams' game to win. But I can see them losing it.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Sean McVay is a genius. Like
He is. He's great.
Yeah. That Rams team has done well just purely because of him, not because of personnel.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron
And last year they were not very good.
Yeah.
But I think it's really smart by the front office keep Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking he's going to be in the hot seat this year.
Yeah.
I think it's really smart keep him going
Yeah.
and allow him to make the adjustments he wants to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
And show how clever a coach he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's done
absolutely.
that. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, I think Rams take it, but don't be surprised if the Dolphins do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm completely with you on that one.
Yeah. Saints Bears.
Considering
Saints
the Bears
coming off a bye week.
Yeah, considering the Bears struggled against the Rams, and I think the Bears have some really good offensive pieces, but it's not consistent enough to. I thought they were going to be consistent enough to win games, but I think their games against the Rams shows that, especially against good teams, they are going to be outclassed. And
Yes.
I think it was something like it wasn't until the fourth quarter until Allen Robinson got a catch.
Yeah.
And you need to get those guys involved early because they're good. Like
Okay.
and
Here's
that
something.
might just be purely down to good defensive play, but
Marquez Callaway is questionable.
okay.
Emmanuel Sanders is on the reserve COVID list.
Okay.
Michael Thomas is still questionable.
Okay.
They absolutely can win it off of the back of Kamara.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have an injury designation.
Yeah.
So that could be.
That does make it. That I hadn't.
James
thought-
Daniels, Tariq Cohen, IR, Eddie Goldman opted out. Eddie Pinheiro is on IR. Allen Robinson is questionable.
Oh, okay. I think it's interesting because I think
questionable.
the Saints.
Bears.
Oh, I don't know. The Saints have not been stellar defensively.
They haven't. No, that's been the biggest letdown in their season. Is that they have some amazing pieces on defense. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah. Marshawn
Lattimore. Is it Demario Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saints will lose bold, but I just I think
I
think it's closer than we think it is. Like
It absolutely is. I want Saints to win, and so I'm going to say Saints.
Okay.
Because I don't want the Bears to be anywhere close to the top of the division.
Yeah. I think it's the Saints to lose. I think the Saints have got the talent to win it. More talent than the Bears do to win it, but the Bears have proven that they don't need talent to win games.
Yeah.
So I think a big thing will be Allen Robinson, because that is a big lot of the Bears' offensive production.
Yes, I think that will be a good game.
Yeah,
That'll
it
be a
will
really
be a
good game.
actually. I think
From
the Bears are
that
the
good
real. I think
game,
the Bears are the real deal. I really do.
they have a lot of potential, but they just
Yeah.
need to get that offense in gear and playing as well as it can.
Yeah, and they have again that David Montgomery is a good running back. Allen Robinson is a real
Yeah.
threat. Like they've got
Yeah.
pieces there, and Nick Foles can throw the ball. Like
Yeah. All right, here's another good game: 49ers Seahawks.
oh
I can't see the Seahawks losing it, to be honest. It's in Seattle. It's 49ers have lots of injuries.
yeah, but you look at how well
Yes,
the
they
49ers
blew out the
defense-
Patriots, but I think that's more on the Patriots than on the 49ers.
I know, but you look at the way that the 49 like we were saying with the Patriots game, the amount of 49ers offense that they had, and the fact that their defense was so dominant. I think it's one of those ones that's closer than we think it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but I think Seahawks take it.
I would be really tempted to not count the 49ers out.
Yeah.
Because yes, Jimmy G has had some really questionable weeks, but he's plodding along okay. I think
The 49ers have very little depth at running back.
that is true. They're running. They may be a bit scuppered on running back.
Yeah, wide receivers, they're completely gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to the wide receivers. Tavon Austin, Travis Benjamin, Jalen Hurd, Deebo Samuel's doubtful now.
Oh, okay.
Richie James is questionable. The others earlier were IR or out. Chris Thompson's on IR. Jeff Wilson, their running back, is now out. Raheem Mostert is on IR.
Yeah.
Tevin Coleman's on IR.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Whereas the Seahawks, Jamal Adams is questionable, as is Chris Carson. Shaquille Griffin is questionable.
Yeah.
Travis Homer and Carlos Hyde are both questionable. So if they're all out, the Seahawks may not have any running backs, but that doesn't matter because Russell Wilson consistently is the
yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna take
team.
49ers. I think they keep getting underestimated and they keep winning. So and a divisional game, I think it'll mean more to them. So.
I'm taking Seahawks on this one.
Fair enough.
I'm open to being surprised. I would love to see me be wrong, but
yeah, fair enough.
NFC least, Cowboys, Eagles,
and it's not gonna be pretty. I think
it's not going to be pretty at all.
I think this is a really good game for Carson Wentz. I think this is
a 2-2.
I think he needs this game. He really needs this game. I think this game will allow the Eagles to settle in. I think they've done a lot of. They've been under a lot of pressure from a lot of teams, and this game will just. They need to not underestimate the Cowboys, but I think this game will just. They can ease into this game a little bit. I think.
I think it's 3-2 to the Eagles. Final score.
Final score. I'm predicting more of a 20-6. I think.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I think that's my.
It's not going to be pretty.
No, it's not. It's going to be. It's going to be ugly football as well. Ugly. It's not going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Eagles D-line.
It's going to be a lot more bad offense rather than good defense as well. Yeah. Like when you see a lot of good defense plays, defense games, you really enjoy them because the defense plays well. Whereas this is going to be a game where lots of turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, but it's not going to be good defensive play.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be poor offensive play.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Although I did forget, a reason why Zeke may not be getting the ball as much is because he's had 3 fumbles this year.
Yes. Yeah. Gosh. Ooh, how
which
many more
is
games
as
we
many
got?
as we've got 3.
Go on, quick fire them.
Steelers Ravens.
Oh my goodness, what a game! Steelers,
That's
their
good.
defense is on top. They're playing amazingly. They'll stay
Yeah,
undefeated. I'm calling it now.
yeah, yeah.
Even the Ravens coming off a bye week, I don't think they're prepared.
No, Steelers are amazing. Um, I think that as well. That is game of the week for me.
Yeah, it'll be great. That'll be really good.
Yeah. Chargers Broncos, battle of the 2 and 4s.
Broncos.
Ooh, I'm taking Chargers.
Fair enough. I think Broncos because they showed against the Chiefs that they can play football when they want to. And they showed that against the Patriots as well. I think the Broncos are a good team. I think they just played really badly.
Yeah.
And because of that, and because of the Jaguars' offensive production against the Chargers, that tells me that Chargers defense needs some help at times. So
it does, yeah, but I still think.
And I think the Broncos' defense
Chargers
is good
it.
enough to stop them as well. So I think it's fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, we're split on that one. Last game, Bucks Giants.
Bit of a massacre for the Bucks, I think.
Yeah.
For the Bucks.
Yeah.
They're in a groove now. They're rolling really well, and I think
fair play I can't see them being stopped.
No, fair play to the Giants on Thursday night, and they've had a little bit of a break. I think they won't be awful, but I don't think they'll be able to keep up.
Yeah, that's Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about the Bucks just for a couple of seconds. Let's predict their record.
What are they on?
They're 5-2 at the moment. They play with the Giants, the Saints, the Panthers, the Rams, the Chiefs, and they have a bye week 13. And then they play the Vikings, Falcons, Lions, Falcons.
Sorry, what are they on at the moment?
5-2.
I think they lose to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think they potentially lose to the Saints again.
Yeah.
Panthers will be a challenge, and with McCaffrey potentially back, that could be a fun one.
I think they lose one of week 10 or 11, Panthers Rams. Not both.
That was the other team I was going to say.
I think they go 11-5.
Yeah, I can't see them losing any of those ones after their bye week.
No, Vikings, Falcons, Detroit, and then Falcons again.
Unless the Falcons really develop something towards the end of the season, I just cannot see any challenge there.
So it's not happening.
Yeah. Oh, we should do that again. We should do records again.
11-5 will be.
We're gonna have to start doing records and playoffs and stuff.
I think as soon as
we're hitting
mid-season, I think next week we can probably do that because that'll be halfway through the season, 8 weeks gone.
That'll be good.
All
exciting times. Thank you everyone for giving amazing questions in the chat.
Yes.
We love talking with you guys, and if there's a team you want us to talk about, we talk about a lot of teams often because of the teams we support and teams in the chat. It was nice to talk about the Seahawks again with if there are teams you want us to talk about, just give us a shout.
While I remember Des Bryant to the Ravens.
Des Bryant to the Ravens. That is
and
going to be
Antonio Brown to the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Both look interesting.
I think both will add depth, but potentially not enough talent to push teams that little bit further.
I think Antonio Brown's going to be more of a hindrance than a
interesting
help. Because they already have 2 or 3 receivers that are playing really well.
Yeah.
I don't see them playing any better.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
With him, he's just going to be a locker room nuisance.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, we'll have to see how much he's changed. If he has. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I'm sorry I've been awful with... Sam's our stat guy, I'm sort of the social media guy, and I've been awful. I've been off the game. But I will upload our videos to our YouTube. Go check our YouTube out if you want to watch our videos, because obviously they disappear on Twitch after a while. So if you want to go back and watch the videos and stuff, it's all on YouTube. It's completely uncut because I kind of like that it's uncut.
Yeah.
And it's easier also to upload. Our YouTube is just called Flag on the Play. You have to go and look in. You have to like filter into the channels and stuff because it's not well known enough yet. But
Yeah.
But also follow us on Instagram. We do I try to post things throughout the weeks in preparation for streams of fun.
Yeah, send us a message on Instagram if you want anything talked about, especially.
Yeah, and I try to do.
I don't have anything to do with the account, but Nathan will let me know. So I can
and I try to do stories that have questions on, and I'll try and send some interesting questions and get your guys, and we'll talk about them on our story and stuff. And thank you to everyone who does follow both. Thank you to everyone who kind of follows our Instagram and follows us on Twitch as well. Like it's so cool. We love doing this, and you guys make it possible to keep doing it. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you next week.
And we will see you next week when the Jaguars don't play. Yes.